Welcome, young Skywalker. I have been expecting you. Normally I do gaming videos where I shoot people, strangle them and drag their corpses into some corner. But today I wanted to talk about something more serious, like the problems that's going on here in the Western world, Europe, and if not enlighten people of what's happening, awaken them from their slumber, at least I can bring some acknowledgements to others that this is actually going on. But first off, I wanted to talk about this fake news wars that's going on. So basically, in the recent American election, there have been accusations that there's these InfoWars, that they are conspiracy theorists, that they bring out infactual facts, that they're complete liars and no one should trust them because they're basically destroying stability of Western civilized world, that they are being funded by the Russians to, spread false propaganda and all of these things. But I mean, it's not true. Listen to what the mainstream media says. I mean, they all say the same things. Whenever it's a homosexual, you have to embrace it. You have to love the fact that it's there, Anyone that says against is evil, corrupt, you name it, they get fired. And if it's about refugees, it's basically the same thing. You're supposed to open your arms to them. And I have to reload the battery, damn it.
12 seconds later.
There we go. It's so hot. Alright. I think I'm doing that now. Alright. Sorry about that. My battery ran low, so I had to put the charger in. Anyway, where was I? Now I remember. I was about the refugees, right? And anyway, so these refugees, you have to accept them also. And I mean, even the Pope says, embrace them and, mate with them. Because we're here in Europe, we don't mate with each other enough. I mean, I think we in humanity are in too many numbers. I mean, too many people were assaulting war, etc. But who knows, maybe he's completely spiritual and is, naive like that. But perhaps he's also dragged into this globalist mess, into thinking this way. But regardless, it's obvious that their opinion is one-sided, because anytime you say a news about Donald Trump, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, right? When it's about Hillary Clinton, she comes up with ideas. She's gonna be the first female president, and all of this. It's all about this sexism and racism, that's their agenda, that's basically how they're gonna win the people over in some way. And this InfoWars is actually something I've basically looked for a long time, because I've noticed for so long that these things are false, because here in Sweden we are brainwashed to, love these things. We can't think any different. And anytime someone comes and says something different in radio, they are immediately being, like, oh, no, you can't speak about that, that's wrong, goodbye, next, it's really silly like that. And all of this of free speech, of democracy, it isn't really there. I mean, this is more like, a dictatorship, imperialism growing slowly and steadily. And the reason why I say it's imperialism is because we all supposed to think the same thing. And when you merge all these people together, it will just become one big empire eventually. But let's stick to this fake news media. I highly recommend you checking out InfoWars, just to, check it out and see why they're so different, why they are being called these things, if you agree. Because if you're gonna sit there and listen to the media, that's the only thing you're gonna hear. if you don't check it out for yourself, you won't know. Because they won't allow you to know the truth. Because they will spread the lies. And I mean, the mainstream media is the actual liars, because they are manufacturing stories. They are the actual ones that, you know, lies about facts and can even make a fake headline and then in the end of the text admit that it's fake. And I mean, when people does that, of course people is gonna believe it. Some people are like only reading headlines, and some people might read halfway through, and you know, they won't know that the headline was fake, that the article was basically ingenuine to what's actually true. But I do think that these InfoWars aren't correct on everything. I mean, sometimes they do investigate some things, and for example, they investigated Pizzagate and it got some confusion. People believed they had some form of child molesting in the basement and whatsoever, you know, demon worshipping. But so a guy came with a shotgun and, you know, shot the door, because that would be the most humane thing to do, right? To save these kids from these satanic worshippers, but turned out to be, you know, just empty rooms. Who knows, maybe there is actually a hidden hatch like in those movies, but no, what this actually was a secret pedophile language they had in emails, from what I understand. But you know, it can be a bit misinterpreted, but also as a viewer you have to try to listen carefully and, you know, not jump to conclusion when it comes to things like this, but always be aware and try to give a not your view from different sources, from a broader, well, of course it can be difficult to get from different sources when you only have fake media besides, but there's other channels. I mean, the Truth Channel, Mark Dice, I guess Anonymous Updates can also be enlightening, and there's other conservatives or people that are trying to bring out this other truth that are being hidden from the media. And mainly what is concerning me with these people, and also Donald Trump seems to take in a lot of things that these people say, is about global warming. I'm a, you know, eco crazy guy. I would do anything for nature if it would mean to save it. And unfortunately they don't think that global warming is a problem. They think it's a hoax, which I think is really sad, because, you know, if you look at the winters here, there's barely any snow anymore. I mean, right now there is some outside, but it used to be a lot more in the winters. And if you look at the North Pole, it's melting. I mean, there's even proof of satellite pictures depicting that, unless they're manufactured, of course, but I don't think so. And obviously it's a great problem. But they refuse to acknowledge it. But the thing is, with nature, I just want to say it because otherwise I might never do a video about it, because I get confused and do videos about other stuff. Is that if this global warming continues, and, you know, let's say all the mountains, the North Pole, the Antarctic will melt away, then we have a huge problem, because all of these countries like Japan or Scandinavia or Mexico, Netherlands, countries that got close proximity to water, they will be overflooded, right? And what will happen when people run out of resources, because people mine out resources, or countries will be drowning in water? There will be massive war. It will be an entire war out of conflict, because you can't just take in 150 million people out of nowhere. That just won't happen. It will be a territorial war, and it will just be worldwide, because there's countries all over the world that's close to water, and we constantly chop down entire ecosystems with animals, we extinct them. We have poachers, you know, hunting these majestic creatures like elephants and giraffes, rhinos, hippoponies, I don't remember what they're called, and they're being extinct, and we just allow it to happen. If we wanted to, we could do a lot more to protect these, majestic creatures, to protect these races. And I mean, there are some even people that are so open with this race thing, you know, like we with human. We destroy our cultures by taking people in from different worlds. The imperialism thing I talked about. And same thing with animals. Some people take in these wild animals and releases them into their countries, and they fight with territory amongst themselves. And some of the native animals, they are being extinct because people take in some bigger version that actually can live in that habitat, that fights for territory and, you know, completely chase off and kills the animals that already exist. I mean, it's a race war, not just between mankind, you know, in this debacle that, you know, you should be multicultural and stuff like that, but the animals themselves have to fight for their survival, because we humans can transport them in this unnatural way and force nature to evolve in this crude fashion. I mean, it's just inhuman. We humans are becoming less human, and when things like this happen, it's very saddening. But I want to say on a positive note, though, that it's InfoWars. This Alex Jones is a very inspiring character, I must say. I like overall InfoWars, but I think it's good with criticism, because that's what this is all about. It's the free press. The people are supposed to speak out their mind, right? And, you know, challenge these high powers to, you know, make sure that they won't be corrupt. Right? That's the thing with journalism, but the mainstream media isn't free press. It isn't. It's corrupt, bought media by this globalists, right? And check out their videos about that, because all of these guys can explain it 1,000 times better than me, but I'm gonna try eventually in this video as well. But in other case, it's good to, you know, have them listen to criticize, if they listen. I mean, usually people don't listen to my blah, blah, never mind that pessimistic view of myself. But if you can't listen to the negative things about yourself, or, you know, then we won't grow. And so I figured it would be good to say those things, and also to you, to show my honest view that they're not just completely perfect. They're humans. They make mistakes like us. But in general, I think they do actually speak a lot more truth than the actual media. And it's confusing when, you know, two sides are just launching comments like, they're fake media, they're fake media, they're fake media, they're fake media. Of course, both sides are gonna say perhaps some less truthful things at times, and perhaps one is more consistent about telling the truth, which I think is the InfoWars. But it's, I wouldn't say that they always speak lies on one side or the other. And also is that I think, like, it's true that people are trying to reject Christianity. It's that, you know, atheism is being more and more popularized. I mean, they will use this war with ISIS as a propaganda throughout for the future, I mean, and teach in the history that, you know, religion is bad. Look at what they did. They would have declared wars in ages because of religion. But people don't look at the bright side of religion. It's that it binds us together. It makes laws that make sense. Read the 10 Commandments, and if everyone would follow that, there wouldn't be war. There wouldn't be infidel case. People would be married and strong together, right? And you know, people wouldn't hurt each other. It would be a very humane society. And then we wouldn't need refugees, because they would be able to be safe in their countries. We would be able to work together. But it depends how you understand these 10 Commandments. I mean, people might be like, oh, what a load of bull crap this is, you know, but that's the modern time. And what this Alex Jones does is that he is open about that he's a Christian. He's open that he believes in God. And I feel it's very nice, because here in Sweden, I mean, I was put in this mental institute and they were like, you're religious? Really? Like, it's a bad thing. Like, are you dumb? Don't start any drama here, okay? You know, that's how they are. This is insanity. I think that's a very warm part that doesn't exist in many other places. Also, try to check out for yourself and get an understanding. That's basically what I'm trying to say, instead of being brainwashed by liars like Hillary Clinton that will lie about her being shot at and had to rush into a car when she was actually standing there with children taking pictures, signing autographs, and were greeted by awesome military men. And this was in Bosnia, and she even lied to the news agency that was with her at the time. So I'm just happy they released this footage. And well, there's a lot of conspiracies and blah blah blah, dark truths to people like this, but search it, look it up for yourselves, because if I will say it, you most likely won't believe it. But to our next stop, we will go to the Second World War. Yeah, but before I pause here, because I'm tired and stuff, it will be a bit more historical and stuff like that, you know, like why it has become like it is now with the media. So yeah, and it's kind of dogmatic in a way, because I will go with facts I've heard and my own theories, I guess you could say, but you might find them rather truthful in a way, but we'll see. That's up to you, the viewer. Thank you.